Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. And I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue. And I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want. We're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. Thank you all for tuning into the Metal Forge this week. I'm Mark Jackson and I'm your host. This week we have Poison Speed from Germany, and you know, just by the name, you already know what you're getting. So fucking awesome. Speed metal at its fucking most brutal, most downright awful, grittiness. Super fucking cool shit. Before we get into talking to those guys, let's talk about concerts, because you know, concerts are coming back around the world in a lot of places. The United Kingdom with Bloodstock, you got here in the United States, you're going to have Riot Fest, you're going to have Louder Than Life, Rockville, all of that stuff, Aftershock, the Danny Wilmer Productions shows. What concerts are you looking forward to attending now that a lot of the restrictions are being lifted? Personally, I'm going to Louder Than Life this year, and I've always been outspoken about it, about not going because of certain things and so on and so forth from years gone past. But I was going to go last year when Metallica had said, hey, we're going to be there. And I live in a place where Metallica's only been here, let's say, 2 times in the last 15 years. Okay, ever since Saint Anger, they were here for Saint Anger, they were here for Hardwired to Self-Destruct. The last time they were there was on the Summer Sanitarium tour in like 2001 or something. They were coming, then James had to go back to rehab, so they pulled out of all of those shows, and then shows got completely canceled to begin with. But I'm only going to the Sunday performance, the Sunday concert, because there are so many bands at Louder Than Life this year that added a 4th day to it, and I think most of the shows, all the DWP shows, have added a 4th day because of, hey, you know, you got fucked out of your concert last year, so let's add an extra day. More power for your money, right? I'm really only interested in the one day. There's some awesome fucking bands playing, but it's just, they have to spread them out. And I get that they have to spread them out, but it's like, because if they didn't, nobody would want to buy tickets to the other days if there wasn't something for them to see. You know, like on the Thursday, Another Day Dawns, Blame My Youth, Teenage Wrist, Escape to Fate, Helmet's playing that day, which that'd be fucking cool to see. Seven Dust, Anthrax, Beartooth, Knocked Loose, Cypress Hill, that would even be cool to fucking see. Stained, and Korn. So then Friday comes along and they've got Contra Cult Collective, Joyous Wolf, 68, The Bluestones, South of Eden, Dead Sarah, Fever 333, Killswitch Engage, Starset, Avatar, Rise Against, Jane's Addiction, in direct support of Metallica on that show, which that's kind of a weird deal for me, I guess, because not really a big Jane's Addiction fan. I've never really got it, I guess. Saturday is going to be the Messenger Birds, Diamante, Bones UK, Ice Nine Kills, Asking Alexandria, Ghostmain, Machine Gun Kelly, Snoop Dogg, which that would be cool, and Nine Inch Nails, which would be awesome too. But that's kind of a weird day. It's kind of like, Code Orange is also on that day as well. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag of all day, every day kind of thing. Snoop Dogg in direct support of Nine Inch Nails. I think Snoop Dogg would be able to headline that, and not saying that Nine Inch Nails shouldn't. That's not where I'm going with this, but that's a huge, 1-2 punch right there. And then Sunday, this is the show that I'm going to, and it's Like Machines, Dead Poet Society, Tempt, From Ashes to New, Red Fang, fucking Fozzy, fuck Chris Jericho, fuck that bastard. Bad Flower, Mammoth WVH, The Who, Sabaton, I'm looking forward to that. Skillet, Pennywise, Seether, not so much on them. Mudvayne for the return. Judas fucking Priest, yes, never seen them. Finally gonna get to go see them, and this is their continued 50 years of metal tour that they should have had last year. And Metallica. Metallica's playing, of course, on all these shows 2 nights. They're playing the Fridays and they're playing the Sundays. And they're supposed to have a completely altering set list each night. I would have went the entire weekend, but, festivals are kind of weird for me anymore. There's a lot to do at a festival. And if it's done like an Ozfest, over a day, super fucking cool. If it's over like 4 days, that's a big investment of time. And you've really got to be in it to win it at that point, in my opinion. But anyways, other than that, I'm going to go see ZZ Top for the first time this summer as well at Louisville's Great Lawn and Waterfront Park. And that one is really cool because they're actually doing the social distanced setup at a concert where they're going to have like the little riser pieces where they're going to seat 4 to 6 people in the middle of the Great Lawn, and they're also going to have general admission lawn seating. And you can't argue with the price of the lawn seating, the general admission lawn, because it's like $40, and it's fucking more than fair to see ZZ Top. I would actually have paid probably twice that to see them. I think more so than just the concerts this year is I'm really interested in seeing the bands that have been on the show. The Night Demons, the Haunts, the European bands that I've had on the show. I want to see them go back on tour. Of course, I want to see Soul Grinder, Savage Master, Bewitcher, Lady Beast, Legendary, all of these bands that have been on the show. I want to see them go back on tour and start playing shows again. And even if I have to travel to get to some of them to see them, fucking yes, I would. Absolutely, for sure. Hey, you know what time it is? It's contest time here at the Metal Forge. Last week on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, I stated that I'm giving away a vinyl blind pack, and it's actually going to be 2 LPs in this pack at no cost to you. Not even shipping, nothing. The only thing you have to do is you have to go and invite your friends to like the Metal Forge page on Facebook, and that's one chance to win. You have to click the post and write done at the bottom in the comments, and then I know that you've done it, and there you go. That's your one chance on there. On Instagram, do the same thing. Invite people to like the page on Instagram. Share the page on Instagram, whatever you got to do. Go to the comments of the original post, click it, write done. That's how you get your chance on the wheel to win. So, it's everybody's favorite time. It's question of the week. And hey, last week's question was pretty rad. It's what band or artist have you given multiple listens, but you just can't get into? Steve Gatrost said Ghost. Got a few people who agreed with him on that. Mick Watkins said Lamb of God. Dude, I feel you on that. Jared Kelly says Bolt Thrower. So does Oliver Carter. Benny Overstreet says Dream Theater for him. Colin Canton says Suicidal Tendencies. Bale says Gojira. Alvaro Gomez says Mayhem. Vanover from Bush Dart says Coheed and Cambria. So does Rick Harlan. Debbie Corona, funny shit here, says Boys to Men. Tried to listen to them several times, just couldn't get into them. Of course. Sean Tyler says Megadeth. He said he would rather listen to a walrus trying to digest rotten eggs. Jet Piston says Merciful Fate and King Diamond. That's probably one of those things that, going to see them live probably might change your mind on that. Forever Still says Death Heaven and Converge. David Cruz from Nightfire says Pantera, which you'll probably already knew that because of everything from last week on the show. Mina Walker from Cramp says Halloween and Jag Panzer. King Metal on Instagram says Iron Maiden. And dude, you know what? For me, I had to go see them live. That changed my opinion of the band of Iron Maiden because I wasn't a big fan of them. And then I just took the Nestea plunge and said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to buy a ticket. I went, and it completely changed my mind. But Dale Wasson, he has the winning entry here. And this isn't a contest. This is just me saying that. He says Overload. Haha, fuck you, Dale. This is my band. But no, seriously, I love you, Dale. Thank you for everything you've done for me and Overload and the Metal Forge. I love you, brother. Thank you. So, this week's question. Oh, well, where am I at? Mine. Lamb of God, for sure. Tried to get into them, listen back to the original stuff, like the Burn the Priest stuff. Not a big fan at all, really. Just can't get into them. This week's question of the week is, what is your ride or die album or artist? What is always in your possession in your car with the album? What album do you take everywhere on either cassette, on CD, digital, that you take everywhere with you? I think everybody has one. That it's like that album that you just pop in all the fucking time. What is it? Make sure you guys are clicking the links to the bands below, the official websites, the Bandcamp pages, the YouTube pages, the Spotify playlist. Without being able to play shows, this is the only way these guys can make any kind of money. So please, click those links, show your support, and help these people out, because they are the ones that need it the most. Also, thank you to the sponsors, Mom's Music, Maxwell's House of Music. Go get your gear from those places. Check out Bert, Bobby, Brooks, Howard, and Mike at both of the stores. Click the links, momsmusic.com, maxwellshouseofmusic.com. I also want to say, anywhere you can get this podcast, you can get the Wrestling Steve Show, the It's Gonna Get Weird podcast, and the Night Demon Heavy Metal podcast. So please, after you're done listening to this show, listen to these people as well. They have great content, super fucking rad people. Check them out. Also, Better Days Records, if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, or you can click below. They have a Discogs page for some really cool, rare shit you can find. So, check out Better Days Records. All right, metalheads. I am being joined in Germany for a second week in a row. This is kind of cool because going all over the world here with Poison Speed, the guys here. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, we're good. We're totally good.
Definitely. So introduce yourselves to the Metal Forge audience here.
If I want to, I'm Tobster. I play bass, guitars, and singing, and Poison Speed. We're totally fine. We're having a blast right now. Fred, he's over at my house for 5 days right now. We're going to have a blast. So we're pretty good. We're having fried chicken, drinking soda, and just kicking it, I'm talking, right? It's just having fun, having a ball.
Definitely, because there's nothing more metal than, well, I would say soda and fried chicken, but, beer and fried chicken's good too.
I don't want to say all the bad stuff. I just want to keep the kids good, what I'm talking, right? It's keep them away from the bad stuff, We're taking Powerade.
Right. A little bit of a different part here. You guys you get together through maybe once a month or something like that to practice, because you're not necessarily in the same area, right?
Yeah. Fred, he lives let's say 30 miles away from my house, so kind of just jam every once in a while, and we talk a lot on the internet and stuff like that. But when it comes down to writing stuff, he's the man to do it, he has all the stuff done, he's the one who pretty much keeps up the band, because he does all the how do you say it,
the online presence,
advertisements and all that stuff, I'm talking, right? It's he does all that stuff, so he's all the busy guy, and I'm just a dude who just plays the instruments. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, he likes it, it's all good,
I'm the last Ulrich.
Yeah,
Poison Speed.
He's the last Ulrich of Poison Speed. I don't want to.
People's not gonna like this, but maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's the business dude.
Definitely. And I think everybody in any band out there has to have the business guy. Certain bands.
He is the business guy, yeah.
So since you all are a duo, how does that work out for you?
We're a team here.
I'd say we're a team, definitely.
Oh yeah, we are.
It's just that we talk a lot about the direction we want to go with the stuff, with the songs, with the artwork and kind of things. And from time to time, I came up with some ideas to show Topstar this and that. It could be some 70s B-movie artwork kind of stuff, or something like that, or the quotes we used for songs. It's just like from time to time I see something and then I'm just like, oh, Topstar, look at this. That could be something for us. We could use this or could make that. And that's the kind of, I'd say maybe overall direction of it. And then we just put it all together. And it's
definitely.
For sure. That's rad.
Yeah.
Now, looking here at some releases, you had 2 demos put out last year. And then you did the third run, which came out back in March. And then here recently, you've got Quick and Dirty, which is a compilation of all 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Quick and Dirty compilation, I dig the cover of it because it's the leather jacket and just the shirt kind of thing. And it screams 80s badass. And I love that.
That's cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Because I think it was like just Fred, just taking a picture of his chest with his metal jacket on. So
it was basically the idea that we wanted to find an artwork which goes in the same direction that the music does. And the title Quick and Dirty was just how the songs were written and recorded. Just us getting together, writing songs, playing those songs 2 or 3 times, and then just record them. So we talked about how to find the cover art for this compilation, and giving it to an artist to draw some stuff would not have been the thing to do, because it would not have been Quick and Dirty. So
it wouldn't have takes our imagination. We wanted to be quick and dirty, going in, going out. That's the thing, you just bang, bang, that's the songs, that's the thing. And the thing is, we never practice. We just go to the rehearsal room and we all right, we got to write 2 songs in one day. So we just do that,
Right.
We just go like full heavy metal in it, I'm talking. And that's the thing, we just go in it and whatever comes out, comes out. So yeah, that's the whole point of the thing.
For sure. And I noticed the natural evolution of things as well, because, you've got Demo 2020 Part 2, and then the third run, they all have a similar cover, just all a different color. And then this, with the leather jacket, it adds a new embodiment to it. And it's where it's pretty much the same, but it's just that little bit different that is awesome. It honestly reminds me, and it was exclusively released on tape as well. And I really enjoy when the bands from the 80s would release a cassette version, and the album artwork is actually just a little square as opposed to being stretched and contorted out of way to fit the J card of the tape.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Thank you for that. Yeah. Appreciate that.
I got some
tip on my hat for that, sir. You want to talk?
Some 80s kind of tapes, some Slayer stuff, and I guess it was Electric Wizard who put out their last album, Wizard Bloody Wizard, on tape, and they did it the same way, just to put the cover onto the tape cover and just the square, as you said. And I thought it's just so cool. They added the title to it, but we just wanted to put the cover on it and the label, and just that to bring back that 80s kind of vibe to it.
Well, definitely. And it looks amazingly good because, like I said,
thank you.
It's one of those things that I remember seeing in the tapes and CDs when I was a kid in a record store, like when I'd go with my parents and I'd be looking around in the metal section when they'd be looking through their, country or whatever, and seeing these covers that way. I vividly remember seeing, The Wall by Pink Floyd on cassette, and it being the whole,
really?
And it being
That's
the
nice
whole J card.
Yeah.
That's cool. But when I see things like these, it gives it it almost gives it a sampler feel. It's like
Awesome to hear.
a stamped out in time kind of thing. With cassette coming back, I've tended to notice that when about 2013, 2014 is when in my area, my geographical area here around Louisville, Kentucky, when bands here started putting out cassettes again. And it was because their fan bases didn't have cars with CD players. They were getting like these 1980s and 1990s cars that still had tape decks.
Yeah.
So is that how it is for you guys as well? Or you just wanted to maybe pay a tribute to the guys that came before you who had an amazing cassette collection?
Well, I never was about, if I can take that answer, I was never about like having an amazing cassette collection, because all my cars, like my rigs I drive, are like Jeep Cherokees and like pickup trucks, so they all have like cassette decks. So I was always aiming for something that I could blast, while like just getting my rig dirty. I'm talking, that was all the thing, like. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna get an old car like Dodge Dakota, whatever it is, Jeep Cherokee XJ95, whatever. And I just was about like having a blast my cassette deck. So I was like, yeah, that's fine for me. Like I guess that people like kind of dig, the stuff like they releasing and all that stuff, and they put it on the tape decks and all that stuff. But yeah, I was never about that. I was just like having fun, That was my opinion about like recording music. I mean, like we're gonna bring out some stuff like more like physical stuff. It's gonna come soon. But yeah, they're like fun for me. Like I like to do that, I hope that wasn't a bad answer.
Yes, no. I'm more of a vinyl collector, I'd say, but I always appreciate some cool tapes. I got some little collection, some 80s tapes, some 90s tapes, some newer tapes, and I noticed some years ago that there are many more little DIY tape labels coming up, and I always grabbed some releases on tape, and it was the same thing with our compilation. The guy from Unchained Tapes wrote us.
Definitely, I forgot to shout that out. Like Unchained Tapes.
Definitely shout out.
Shout outs to
Morbid and Miserable, and Bar Hill. You guys truly love, and he came up and wrote us after we released the second demo. He asked us if we could release it on tape, and we said, yeah, that's awesome, but wait a little more. So we have some more to put it all on the tape. We already knew that we were about to record 2 or 4 new songs, and due to the COVID situation, the pandemic, we had to pause for about 8 weeks or something.
Yeah, it was like 2 months, yeah.
And as soon as we could enter the rehearsal room again, we just recorded the stuff, and we got back to him and asked, are you still into releasing it? And they was like, yeah, of course. And so we did it, and he did a cool job. Did it all by himself.
Yeah, he did it all by himself, yeah.
100% DIY, and I think that's a cool thing to support, no matter if you're a collector or not. So
definitely,
I guess
it's definitely about the how to say it. Help me out. The passion. It's just
about the passion. Like
right.
I said, like I mean, like my answer might be like kind of wrong, like just blasting stuff in your truck. But he was like totally right about that. Like it's just like the joy of it, like just helping, like, playing it loud, and just having fun with it.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
That's
pretty much it.
I'm of the belief, when I put something out personally with my deal, is I think content is king, and the more content you have, the overall thing you can actually put out is whether it's new material or whether it's a CD version, a tape version, a vinyl version, in shout out to Savage Master, an 8-track version of something. Which they did.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's just, or you could find so many different ways to get your music out to people. So that's why I think doing tapes and doing vinyl, other than the collectible aspect of it, is super rad, because, people might only have tape decks still. People might only, have a record player, or only choose to listen to music on a record player. So I get it. 100%. So let's take a real quick break. We're going to come right back with more Poison Speed at the Metal Forge. Hey, are y'all in a band? Do you need merch for shows? By now I'm sure you've seen all the Metal Forge patches that are available, along with many more. Well, the printer I use for those is UKR Patcher. Check them out on Facebook and Etsy. They do awesome custom work and for extremely affordable prices for any band budget. Check them out, UKR Patcher on Facebook and Etsy.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since there are only two of you, is there, now that restrictions are starting to be lifted in a lot of places, is there an end goal in mind to maybe bring in another one or two people and start doing this as a live show?
We're trying to definitely. Like his friend, he's called Chris, and he's like the best guitar player I've ever heard. I mean, like, I'm a huge Hendrix fan, but that dude, he's on another level. Like, you gotta hear him. Shout outs to Chris. Like, he's the dude. He plays like a mean guitar, dude. I swear to God, like, he's like the best mother effer I've ever seen on a guitar.
The thing is, we started last year in August or September, something like that. It was
September, yeah.
Where shows were definitely not happening.
Yeah, not at all.
They're still not happening, but it's at the moment it's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel situation. If everything goes into the right direction, probably shows are coming back maybe this fall or winter.
Yeah, I would say about that, yeah.
And we're definitely getting ready to play some shows as soon as we can.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure to wait until we can play shows like they were before COVID.
It sounds like what you have with the title of the compilation is exactly what you guys are. You're quick and dirty when it comes to the music in general. You get in, you get out. So what's next? I mean, are you currently doing a new EP, a new single?
Like I said, like Fred, he's at my house for like 5 days now. So I guess like since Quick and Dirty came out, that's like 2 weeks now. It's too long for Poison Speed to put out new stuff. So we're going to work on new stuff tomorrow. We're going to like write probably like a few songs.
Nice. Well, I know everybody is looking forward to it for sure. Just because, you know, I think
you make me blush.
No, I mean, I'm serious because like there are so many different bands that I like to talk to on the show because you don't have to like one style of metal. You can like doom, you can like thrash, you can like speed, you can like whatever. You know, just you can like whatever type of metal, and it's awesome when you know you have a multifaceted of bands around you that you can pull from musically.
Absolutely.
Nice. That's definitely like, I guess if I could say that for ourselves, we're a lot into like old, like I would call it like classic metal bands.
Yeah.
Can we say that? Classic country.
Yeah.
And doom metal. That's like you have.
I'm a lot into very many kinds of music in general and metal stuff. I'd say mostly it's black metal, doom and sludge kind of things. Yeah. A lot of that southern stuff like Down and Ayatgard and Crowbar and all that stuff, which is more of the music which I focus on with my other band. But when it comes to metal, it's more classic metal. I'm really into, as we already mentioned, Motorhead, and I'm probably the biggest Metallica fan.
Oh yeah, he is.
And,
he definitely is.
But we said with Poison Speed it should be straight Motorhead,
Midnight,
and maybe early Metallica like kill them all.
Yeah, kill them all.
Definitely.
Hit the lights.
Definitely, because with the Quick and Dirty cover, it does remind me of something that Motorhead would have done. And just like it looks like it could be a Motorhead album. Honestly, I love that because I'm a huge Motorhead fan.
Yeah,
Lemmy has his influences on all of us.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
I mean, like, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Wherever he is, whatever keeps him down, like, blast him. You know, like, it's Lemmy. You know,
for sure.
Lemmy is Lemmy.
For sure. Now's the time I'm going to get in some general profile questions about you guys here.
Yeah.
These are all about you. You know, what makes you all tick as musicians and people.
All right.
I'm going to start out heavy here. What is the worst album by your favorite band?
Probably Saint Anger by Metallica. And
I thought that was their bet. No, I'm kidding.
I'm saying it as a huge Metallica fan, and I do dig some of the riffs on it. It has some good riffs. It has some good lyrics, but
it does not have any good drums.
Yeah, it doesn't have any good drums, any good drum sound, any good production, and yeah, they kind of lost their track on it a bit. But
given their situation in life at the time, I kind of understand it. I am going to cut in here on you on this for a second because I saw the funniest meme in the world the other day. And it was a guy listening to Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. And then right before he gets into the breakdown of the song where the snare comes in, they overdubbed the snare with the snare from Saint Anger. And it was the funniest thing in the world. And I was just like, oh gosh. It was like a TikTok video. So good.
Awesome.
Tobster, what about you?
Gotta find it.
For me, it's like, I would say God Hates Us All by Slayer.
Understandable.
I gotta be honest with that. I think early Slayer, but that was like a new metal Slayer album, you know? Like, it wasn't that good. Like, there's still some good songs on it, but I like God Hates Us All. But it wasn't like the typical Slayer, like, it was just like, I don't know, it didn't kick me like that much. But it's just my personal opinion. Maybe you guys are like, you think that guy's completely douchebag, but for me,
no, for sure,
it wasn't Slayer for me.
That's interesting because it's around the same time period. You know,
yeah.
God Hates Us All was 2001, and obviously Saint Anger was 2003. So, yeah, it's the same time period for those bands. I get that. And I think a lot of people say the same thing about the Megadeth stuff for that era, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. But like I said, like Fred and I, we sometimes we agree about like what's better. Like he loves Metallica, I love Slayer. Like I'm like more of the Slayer dude. I don't want whatever I say now. But like we argue about that sometimes, and I just dig Slayer more, like the older stuff. I love Metallica too, like till Master of Puppets, and then it was like gone for me. But like,
how couldn't you say that? Justice for All is the best album
because it has no bass in it.
Nope.
Right. And the bass would make such a big difference.
Most badass riffs ever written.
Yeah. Okay, I gave him that. Like, okay.
Justice for All has better riffs and more good riffs than any other band writes in their whole career. So let's fight about that.
We're going to do.
Well, you know, the funny thing is,
neon lights, keep that in mind.
The funny thing for me is like there's so many Metallica fans out there that are like first 4 albums and that's it. You know, nothing past Justice. And I get it, don't get me wrong. And the unfortunate thing for me is I'm that way with Slayer. First 4 albums and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing past South of Heaven. Nothing past South of Heaven.
Yeah. Got me right with that. Like I love like Hell Awaits, Show No Mercy, like Seasons in the Abyss, and Rain and Blood.
South of Heaven.
South of Heaven, awesome too. Like okay, so now 5. But yeah, like I said, it's really good. It's really good.
Oh, definitely.
Like old Slayer is like they're just a master of like evil thrash metal, I would say.
Well,
I just like the riffing. Like
so we kind of brought this up a little bit earlier in the interview. And outside of music stuff, we were talking about like the collecting of tapes, and Fred said the vinyl. He's a vinyl collector. So outside of stuff for music, what do you collect?
What do I?
Yes,
I collect guns.
Right on.
Yeah.
And I'm
and trucks.
I've been collecting a lot of movies, but not in the last year. I kind of lost track about this kind of collection kind of thing. And it's mostly vinyl records and
Okay.
music related stuff.
Definitely. No, I get it. What is something you've always wanted to do, but you're not coordinated enough to do?
I would say, that's a hard question.
For me, it's maybe I can say I play drums since I'm 10 years old or something, and as I got more into country music, I really wanted to learn some banjo kind of stuff. I got me a banjo, and still to this day, I'm not a banjo player. And
you and me both.
I just had to accept that my ability to play a string instrument is not as good as play drums. So I guess I'm not done with it yet. I may try to do it once again, or maybe 2 times, but I'm pretty sure that it won't work as well as playing drums for me. So that's probably it.
The one thing I always wanted to learn, but never was able to be was being a soul singer, I guess. Like I always wanted to sing like a song to my old lady, just like Marvin Gaye would do, like Sam Cooke, whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
for sure.
I'm never able to do that. I can never do that.
So you
sing
had
it the Lemmy way.
Yeah, you had to sing "Love Me Like a Reptile."
Yeah, love me like a reptile. Yeah.
As a soul version.
Oh yeah, love me like a reptile. No, I wouldn't do that.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
In my opinion, I gotta be totally honest with that, and I'm totally honest with that, is staying away from drugs and staying sober. That is the best advice I've ever received, because I've been through a shithole with that. Yeah.
Definitely. Yes.
That is my opinion. Staying away from booze and staying away from drugs.
Understandable. Hell yeah, man.
It's
heavy. No, that's heavy, and if you've got somebody in your life that can tell you, either from their experience and explain to you why it's such a bad thing, then yeah, I get that 100%.
Yeah, it's just like, where does it get you? And you know what I'm talking? Like, I mean, I'm still fighting with alcohol abuse, but yeah, I cut the bad stuff out. So I think that was having a cut for me, except playing a band called Poison Speed, I'm talking.
Right.
And so yeah, I had a lot of Poison Speed, whatever it means, but I had a lot of bad situations in my life, and I just want to cut that out, be being there for my old lady, being there for whoever may be there who needs me. But yeah, I would say that was the best advice I've ever achieved, and it was from my mom, actually. Stay away from drugs and stay away from booze. So I'm kind of trying, and it kind of works, but sometimes it doesn't. So yeah,
definitely.
It's a heavy advice, but I'm honest. So yeah,
for sure. And I think you have to be honest about metal in general, and stuff like that, because well, I mean, coming from a fan perspective, if you're not honest about things, you're not going to have fans, especially in metal.
Yeah,
for sure. That's a pretty heavy answer, man. And on that, let's take a real quick break. Let's decompress for a second. Let's come back. Let's get some more general profile questions with Tobster and Fred from Poison Speed.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums. We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
Hi, this is Frank Green from the It's Gonna Get Weird podcast, a podcast I host with Scott Clark. You're gonna get everything you need on the podcast. Lots of laughs, lots of music, some sports, and maybe some inappropriate shit. Usually that's Scott's forte. Check it out. It's Gonna Get Weird. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and everywhere you get your podcasts online. It's Gonna Get Weird.
Hey, what if you don't get out of here and make it fast? I'm gonna put my foot right in your ass. Oh! Hey!
What food can you not stand?
Definitely not fried chicken. We love fried chicken. We had fried chicken this morning. We had it tonight. We had it for dinner, for lunch, for breakfast. We had it all over. Like, fried chicken is the best thing ever.
Well, since you said
Man
that,
invented.
Since you said that, are you doing the metal way when you eat it in the morning? Or are you eating it cold? Or do you warm it back up?
No, we just heat it up. We put it in the fryer and just fry it up again.
Double fried chicken.
Double fried chicken.
It's really hard to name one thing I really don't like. Guess there are some German traditional kind of dishes that I really don't like.
There's bad things.
There's some good stuff, but there's also some really, really no.
Well, what's a traditional that you don't like?
For me, it's called actually Saumagen, which means like pig's guts. Bah.
Oh.
I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That would be something like, I wouldn't like that. Pig's guts? Like, no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Tripe is what it's called here.
All right.
It's like the intestine, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tipping my hat for that.
Yeah. No, thank you. I get it. What is your most unpopular music opinion?
You go first.
Whoa. I gotta think for this one. And, I just had to think about something a few days ago, which made me think, wow, that's pretty unpopular to say, but I'm struggling to remember what it was. Just give me a second. Maybe you start.
All right. My most unpopular music opinion is probably like Fred Eaglesmith and Sarah Shook and the Disarmers. I think like these are like pretty unknown bands, I would say, and it's both country bands, so that would be like my most unpopular. Like
maybe to stick with Metallica, it's pretty popular to say Lars is a bad drummer, and that's just stupid because he's definitely has some problems nowadays to keep the tempo, or he might be sloppy. The whole band got more sloppy, but you got to remember that they're still playing it live. They're not the Rolling Stones who got a big background band who keeps it all together.
Right.
And they might fuck up some things live. James might forget some lyrics. They might fuck up some intros or something like that when they start it over again. But they're still laughing about it, and they still don't try to use some technique stuff kind of things to or use overdubs and stuff live to clear those mistakes out, let's say.
No.
So that's a cool thing. It's honest. It's okay. We might be sloppy from time to time, but we're still playing it live. And coming back to that last kind of thing, he did some really, really awesome stuff on the first 4 to 5 records of Metallica. Justice for All was absolutely badass drum playing. And a thing which for me proves that kind of opinion is Lars had to be replaced for one gig around 2007 or 2009. And Dave Lombardo and Joey Jordison played that show with Metallica.
Right.
And technically seen, both are much better than Lars. No one would deny that. But it was not as good as a good Metallica show, because his kind of drumming is so essential to the sound of the music of this band.
The overall chemistry was gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
To your point as well about the live aspect of things, about them being sloppy live. You know, I've seen video from them from the beginning, and I think everybody in the world has seen video from Metallica from the beginning. They have always been sloppy live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the band too, but they've always been sloppy as shit live.
Motorhead have been too.
Right.
Yeah. Same with Motorhead.
You gotta look at 50 Animal Taylor. He's one of the sloppiest drummers ever, but nobody did it as good as he did it. So makes it unique in a way.
Right.
It shouldn't be an excuse for playing shitty. There are some bands who have always been shitty and say, "Oh, it's unique."
For sure.
That's just my opinion.
All right. So I have one more question here. But before we get into that,
oh yeah,
who do y'all have shout outs you want to give to this week?
Shoutouts. You want shoutouts?
Let's start with again with Unchained Tapes, Morbid and Miserable, and Vile Records for reaching out to us to release that compilation for their work, and
Bar Hill Records.
Yeah, I mentioned them.
Yeah.
And probably shout outs to my other two bandmates and my band called Geisterfaust, which is some kind of mix between sludge and black metal stuff. And shout outs to everyone who enjoys Poison Speed.
Yeah, everyone who digs Poison Speed and living in the fast lane, but in a good way, you know, like waking up, eating fried chicken, having fun, you know, working on the trucks, you know, like being over there, being crazy creative, whatever it is, you know, you name it. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's all that stuff.
And to you for having us.
Oh, you for having us.
Dude, you guys are great. And, you know, I'm a speed metal freak, so I love all of that stuff because it's fucking rad as shit. And the saying, what is it, live fast, die young, or some shit like that? Nah, I mean, no.
No, I want to live slow and die old. Actually, that's my point.
That's
right?
The doom part of it.
That's the doom. The doom is, yes, live slow, die old.
I had enough speed in my life. I can tell you crazy stories about that. You can fill a whole podcast with that. But you don't want to hear about that.
Definitely.
You want to hear about the good stuff, you know? Like being there, being supportive, you know, like being just, yeah, like I said.
Guess there's some kind of romantic kind of thing to it. People love those rock and roll stories, but you gotta admit that not everyone is Lemmy.
Right.
And not everyone can live up to
70 years old.
Yeah.
Doing
to do that kind of lifestyle.
For sure.
He might be the one true rock star who did it until the very end, but there are many, many others who could have been around for quite longer if they would have stopped some things earlier. So
yes,
you gotta find a balance between romantic to be romantic about this rock and roll kind of thing, and
it's all cliche, you know. It's all a cliche.
Very much.
It's fun to play with those cliches. And you gotta be, as you said in the beginning, you gotta be honest with the kind of music you're doing, with the content of your music, with your art. But you shouldn't always take stuff too seriously. You shouldn't think, oh, I'm not a real rock and roller if I don't do that amount of drugs, or
don't do that.
Start the week with a hangover from hell, you know.
I did that. I gotta admit, I did that.
For sure. So last question, what album changed your life?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you about that. Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? I used to have a friend, because his dad was stationed in the army, and his name was Jack Lively. Shout out to Jack Lively. He brought me a record when I was like, I think like 12 or something like that. And he was like, listen to that. And he gave me like a Jimi Hendrix CD. And it was Are You Experienced? And I listened to that and it blew my mind. Like that was the time I started playing guitar. And that really like definitely changed my mind. Like I dug up a lot of blues, jazz and all that stuff because I wanted to get a Hendrix sound. And it really like it changed that album changed my life. Definitely.
Hell yeah.
For me, probably not a big surprise. It was Metallica. Came across Metallica when I was 9 or 10 years old, and I saw them on TV, and I was, whoa, what is this? And my dad got me a Metallica CD, and I just started with the less heavier songs, you know, and then I just got into the more heavier kind of songs. And it totally blew my mind, and that was the kind of key for entering that world of music stuff, world of heavy music stuff, and for me to start playing drums. And if I might add a second record, it probably was Chaos AD from Sepultura.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That got me into more extreme kind of metal. It maybe was some kind of door opener to get later on into some death metal stuff and black metal stuff and all that more kind of extreme metal. And I always remember listening to Refuse to Resist for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was blown away by this this intense energy and this, I don't know, I was really, really blown away by the brutality and the intensity of Max Cavalera. And this was probably the second record who totally changed my life.
Hell yes. Sepultura is insane, like on a whole other level. I love the story of how, they were, because they were young. They were like 14, 15, 16 years old when they were doing a lot of that stuff. And they saw pictures. They saw pictures of Motorhead and Lemmy with the bullet belt. And they were like, oh, that's so rad. And they couldn't get bullet belts. And when they did their promo pictures, they actually made their own bullet belts. They took...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And this is the funniest thing in the world. They took AA batteries and taped them together and made bullet belts. So if you look on like, what is it, Morbid Visions... The back cover where they're all kind of standing there in the woods and stuff. Yeah, those are those bullet belts are AA batteries.
That's so cool.
Got to check that out.
It's metal.
And another thing that made this band so special to me on Chaos AD is the content of it. So totally understand why people want metal not to be political, and I absolutely fine with it. But I was blown away by this kind of speaking against oppression, speaking against all those fucked up things happening.
Exactly.
And it took it to another level. It made it so authentic to have that kind of raw energy, that kind of hardcore influenced metal thrash stuff together with that content, with that middle finger against oppression and songs like Brave New World, Refuse Resist, took it to an absolutely new level. And if metal is politically, it should be like this record was.
Sure. No, I agree with that. Yeah, where you stand up against oppression and people trying to make you a second-class citizen of type. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's what you should always stand up against being in metal.
But
absolutely.
What I recognize is that a lot of like South American metal bands, I used to play a lot with like a lot of like South American crust bands back in the day, and they were all like, they had like a passion for their country, but they never supported the country. They wanted the country to be free and be like, I don't want to say anarchy, but like just like living free. And they had like those ideas, and that's what I enjoyed about it, and they played like really like fast and heavy D-beat stuff, like really, really heavy and fast.
Right.
There's some bands like, I remember like La Misera de Tu Rostro is really like a great band, and Spanish bands as well. Like they have a lot of like great crust bands, because like these people, I think they still have like a passion. Like they stand up for something. Like we're kind of like how can I say it? Like weak-minded? No, not weak-minded, but it's like we're just like, could I say like easy washed? Is that a way to say it? Like easy washed? Like
yeah.
Like, and but they people, they have balls, like these people, they really go for it. That's what I liked about them, because like I said, like they played so aggressively, like they had no like they had aggression, like he said, like Fred said, I always like admired those people, like they had balls, like
right. That
was great. Like when they played shows, it was intense. Like they would go for it. Like was the last show on Earth.
Well, for sure. And, after reading White Line Fever, by, the Lemmy autobiography, he talks about when they played in, like, Colombia and shit like that.
Yeah.
About how the government oppression is, and they're like, being escorted by the military that was essentially the Gestapo, and how crazy it was that they seriously thought that they were going to get killed down there. And it's crazy.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we go,
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you all for coming on to Metal Forge this week. I'm looking forward to new music. I know we just got some a couple of weeks ago, but you guys are quick, you're dirty, it's fucking rad. I'm looking forward to new stuff already. Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter to the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.